remember every day, every morning, every moment. But the first person who will have the flavor of all that, it's you. It's us. When we try to share the best, it's that energy that we feel instead of the contrary. So if you want to love really yourself, try to express this love and to stop to do anything when you don't feel this wonderful energy. And in that you are very, very, very precious, important, because nobody can decide that for you. It's a personal decision to be vigilant with every word, thought, emotion, action that we express. What is to come? You are literally witnessing the forerunning effects of what is to come, when the day will arise when no one will need to say a word. And yet, through the gathering of the lineage, individuals who are attracted will heal spontaneously and immediately drop into enlightenment. All of you are part of this. This is how extraordinary you are. And this is the invitation that we constantly extend to you. Think not that that which is called Shanti Christo is simply another worldly organization. The deepest levels of transfiguration are already occurring through this lineage, through this strand or ray of light. Therefore, indeed, embrace that which you are, honor that which you are, extend that which you are. Go and teach all nations. Let them know that I have come again, and that this expression, called Shanti Christo, shall become increasingly a primary vehicle through which the lineage is creating the vortex, the portal, the initiation, the energy of transfiguration that will quicken in its enlightenment or at-one-ment of the sonship. Therefore, understand well that what will be coming in the future is a growing body of those maturing in the way of the Christ mind, maturing in the level of commitment, because they will come to see the extraordinary role that they are playing in a much bigger picture than their own personal lives. The family will indeed grow, and much is being put into place for this to occur. The lineage never ceases working in establishing the network of light that allows the expression of this light visibly through this vehicle called Shanti Christo. We recognize well that as you live your personal lives seemingly many miles from one another, often with little third-dimensional contact, it's easy for the mind to cast a spell upon you that not much is occurring. And yet I say unto you, it will occur with or without you. The invitation then is to take up your rightful place by stepping into full commitment for this extraordinary expression that shall indeed eventually touch all corners of your planet. That has been its purpose since long ago. The birthing of Shanti Christo is perfectly an expression of that which was just as important, called my birth and my crucifixion and resurrection. It's all part of the same script. Something in you has attracted you to me. Something in you has attracted you to the lineage. Something in you resonated with Shanti Christo, for those words carry the vibration of the call that I have told you from a time quite ancient. You would one day hear as you become quickened from the dead, to use a Christian phrase. The awakening of the soul, the call back home to the family, to the lineage, to the purpose of the atonement. You have come with a mission. Indeed, then, beloved friends, you cannot have an ordinary day any longer. You might as well accept the fact that you have come with a mission. You are a bringer of light, a bringer of a new day or a new dawn. You are that which extends the love of God into creation by your willingness to let the light transfigure your humanity. Your humanity is transfigured as you embrace your humanity and see it all as sacred. For the spell of illusion is to believe that life as a body-mind is a mistake, that it is a fearful world, that one is limited and small, that the only thing you can do is put all your energy into trying to survive, that all you can do is block your feelings and pretend they are not there in an attempt to deny the power of the Christ that you are, the power to bring the miracle of love and remembrance and atonement to each moment. You are indeed unlimited in always, forever. The mind that serves the Holy Spirit is the Christ mind, the mind of Abba, the self of your very soul. They are all the same. And the mind that serves the Holy Spirit is indeed unlimited forever. And this self is part of an extraordinary family, the lineage that can indeed be traced through the Jewish nation, the Jewish families, and can be traced even back before that lineage, that family, that nation was birthed. It shapes itself back through Egypt, back through Persia. It has some roots in ancient India, and it indeed has roots beyond this physical earth. You are incarnating Christ into the world. You, therefore, are not alone, and your role should never be minimized by you. Please understand that the culmination of the way of knowing has been the desire and attempt to invite you more and more deeply into knowing the truth of who you are and what you are here to do, into awakening as Christ. And yes, we know that the mind hits its points of fear and must plateau out for a week or a year or 10 lifetimes before it is willing to step further. Yet, you are free, even in the midst of your deepest fears, to say yes to transfiguration. For darkness holds no power over light. It is always when you are at the point of your greatest sense of darkness, of your greatest feeling that the light just cannot quite get into you, that you could not possibly ever be enlightened. It is at that moment that you need only invite the light, and the light begins to transform the darkness. It is when you are at your edge of darkness that the dawn is but a breath away. As you transfigure your humanity, you are transfiguring the energy field of humankind, pure and simple. You are incarnating Christ into the world. You are resurrecting and awakening the dead into life eternal. Take up then your rightful place and begin to give up hiding your light under a bushel. It is indeed time to start standing up to be counted as one who is committed to the transfiguration of human consciousness through the lineage of the Christ mind, pure and simple. my commentary. Imagine if we are 10, 20, 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 to express our light, to share what we understand, to want to bring the best of us, to help others to connect with the Divine Mother, the Divine Father, the Divine Child, Christos, the Holy Spirit, the conduit of this Divine Presence in us. If we are more and more, everything will transform. And when the Yeshua say to ask, I will see. Invite the light. Yes, he says invite the light. Sometimes we say, I cannot, I'm not able, it's impossible. Yes, for our humanity, but for the divine, it's not true, it's not our reality. If we invite light, if we invite the Divine Mother, if we invite the Divine Father, if we invite the Divine Child to be in us, he, her, they will come. When we have some difficulty with drugs in different spheres, cigarettes, sugar, orgasms, buying a lot of things, games, work sometimes is also a drug, cocaine, marijuana, lie, things that we take or actions can be a drug. When we feel that we are weak, we can ask, we can invite the light. We can stop our action and do a little prayer, sincere prayer in our heart, and talk to the Mother, to the Father, to the Child, Divine Child, the Christ, and say, help me, inspire me, give me a new strength, a new force, use me as a tool. I want to be able, I want to do what I know that I have to do to feel very good in my consciousness, to be in unity with you. Help me. So invite, desire, and with that, it's like when you ask something to your human mother or father. If you are very intense with what you ask, and if your father or your mother or your brother or sister understand that this thing is very, very important for you, they will try to help you to have it. It's the same with the divine. Invite your mother, your father to bring you what you need, and all your limitations will dissolve, will change, will disappear gradually with this desire to accept the divine, to be the divine in action. You can, you are able, you can do what you really want to do in your divine plan, in the divine plan, in God's plan, because you have all the energy of God to do that. Nothing is impossible with this help. Okay, I continue. Step forward. You are extraordinarily important. You must begin to discipline the mind to not perceive yourself as a small part, not to perceive yourself as separate from one another, to begin to take action to create the lines of communication even in the third dimensional realm. It is time for you as individuals to step forward in the birthing of Shanti Cristo instead of waiting upon the handful that seems to have gone a little further ahead. You are that one, you, the reader of these words, or the listeners. If you will but step forward, the whole power of the lineage will support you. It's funny to see that my commentaries are spontaneous, and sometimes I explain something in my words and I see just after how the book talk about that in a different way. So I think it's the divine inspiration. I don't have a plan when I do that. I don't take notes to say this or that. I just feel the present moment, feel the inspiration that comes, and it's just that. And I don't know if you have noticed that, but for me it's evident in different parts. So, okay, it was just that I wanted to say. Okay. So, the invitation is indeed bold, and the stakes have always been high. It is the great dream to transform the dream of separation into the dream of perfect remembrance. You are not small, and you are not alone. Many of you are beginning to be more deeply aware that you too hear me. Let that process continue and deepen. Become an equal conduit which extends the atonement through the mind of Christ, through that which is called Shanti Cristo, through you. For this work to reach its fulfillment in the quickest possible time requires the invitation of this lineage to you, a part of this lineage. Where can you step forward with greater boldness? Where can you find your edge of fear and call in the support of light and move through it? Two last pages. Where can you drop the pebble into the pond that radiates the vibration of this lineage through you out into the world? For the world holds no power over you. I hope in this simple sharing that your mind has been a little shaken and you have been brought to a deeper stillness, that your mind has been brought back to the reality of what attracted you to this vibration in the first place. For in that moment, your heart was thrown open through the portal of initiation. Your soul is what has attracted you back to me, for your soul has always known the truth, and it has simply answered the call. Yet it takes vigilance and discipline to always remember each day not to fall asleep again. For the temptation of the world is just that, to begin to think that all of those walking asleep in the world have greater knowledge than you. And since so many of them are asleep, maybe being asleep is the way to be. It is not. For all those sleeping will be transfigured in the twinkling of an eye. The sleeping call out in their slumber for someone to steer them from their sleep by modeling and expressing and communicating the quickening vibration of light, which is the presence of God. Indeed, you have chosen to come into this dimension as part of a very grand work that is going on multi-dimensionally. You are indeed part of a rather large family. Many of you will continue to deepen your ability to communicate with me. Honor and love one another. Recognize that you have come not to live ordinary lives, but to play out the greatest drama ever enacted upon the human plane. That is your role, your function, your purpose, and your life. It has indeed been a great honor to be the one selected of my Father to undergo the laser beam purification called the crucifixion and resurrection as part of a much larger picture. It has been a great honor to be the one through whom you have opened your heart to the love of God. It has been an honor to serve as a Savior and Messiah. But in truth, that is not the end. For the end can come only when perfect equality as Christ is established in all earths and minds. Join with me, then, in this great work. Join with me. Do not shy away from that which your heart would call you unto. Rather, dive deeper. A little commentary. My pronunciation sometimes hurt, heart, it's different for me. So it was all hearts, and I have said all hurts. So when perfect equality as Christ is established in all hearts, I will never leave you and will never take my hand from this work until all is indeed completed. I love you always, and I participate with all minds called to awaken. I am but your brother and your friend, ever dedicated to revealing that which my Father would reveal to you through me in just the right way at just the right time. You are as I am, and together we transfigure humanity. I was a prototype for what is to come, an expression in space and time of what all of you are destined to be. Yet that destiny is but the remembrance of what you have always been beyond the veil of illusions. Peace is with you always. Hear the call. Accept the invitation. And let us continue in the greatest story ever told. Amen. Yes, we have an invitation from Yeshua and from all the Christ beings, Christic beings who accept the divine path. They ask us to take this path and to accept the spiritual inspirations that we receive to become different of other people around us, and to make new projects, new activities, new spiritual practices, new kind of readings, to have a new form of discussions with our friends, with the members of our family, time in prayer, in writing spiritual things, and in teaching spontaneously or with small or big organization. You can express this Christ part that is in you if you accept that the fear is just an illusion, and that you will be really, really more happy if you if you do what your deep, deep consciousness asks you to do, to say, even if you're not with that like others, if you take a new way, if some people judge you, remember that many people in the celestial spheres see you, actually listen you, and know every loving thing that you do. You're not alone. And I try to create here a big spiritual family. Okay, I stop here. I wish you a beautiful day, and in another day I will come back with the next section. After 35, 34, it will be 33. Thank you very much for your time with me and with Yeshua or with Shanti Cristo group. You are a beautiful person, and maybe one day we will be together in a spiritual project. Bye bye.